A big money Jets free agent could go from making a lot of moolah to the bench before week one. Well, boy, we got to react to it. Plus, OTA's right around the corner. We talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Feel free. Search it out, Boy Green Daily, beep, boop, bop. Pull it up and give a review if you'd like, and let us know how we doing, all right? We got a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very topic matter. Shout out to everyone joining us. If you are watching on YouTube, as you're heading on in, like the video, hit subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm guides and spreads it out to other Jet fans who haven't seen the show before. We'd appreciate it. And there's a few things to get to here. Continue those raffle tickets, baby. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. You could do that. That is likely the pinned comment here on youtube.com/boygreen25, and it is. That's a way to join the YouTube membership group. It's only $2.99. If you're watching this video after the fact, you can join the Boy Green Coffee Club in the YouTube description down below. You guys can also gift out Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. If you hit the money sign, if you're watching on YouTube, final option is gift channel memberships. You can gift as many as you'd like. Also, super chats, questions, or comments are always welcome on the program as well. And here's what you're competing for. You don't just have to gift to give because you love me. You could do it to win some sweet-ass prizes, baby. Throw it up on the big screen. We got the New York Jets commemorative game coin from last season with a certificate of authenticity from the National Football League. This is the real deal, people. It's got the Jets logo on it. It's a nice, beautiful jewelry case right there that you see displayed on the left. Plus, we got a full-size NFL signature football from the New York Jets, baby. It's got the entire team autographed it. Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Elijah Tucker, you name it, you got it right there on that football as well. Both of those items will be gifted to one lucky individual on June 1st. If you want a chance to win these prizes, you just got to spend $2.99 on the channel at any point through the rest of May. Obviously, each time you spend $2.99, you get another raffle ticket. So the more raffle tickets you have, the better chances you have of winning it. But with at least one ticket, you got a chance. So I highly recommend to all my viewers and listeners everywhere, you at least buy one raffle ticket each month, because we do one of these giveaways every month. You at least want a chance. If you don't buy, you're like, geez, I didn't win. Well, if you didn't buy, you have no chance to win it. I don't know. Anywho, let's get into it. Good morning, everybody here in the chat. I see a bunch of green in here. Those are Boy Green Coffee Club members. Let's go, baby. And here it is, right? So we've all questioned the signing of Brandon Stephens. The Jets signed, that's the second biggest contract they doled out in free agency. Number one was Justin Fields, 2 years, $40 million, $30 million guaranteed. But the next biggest was Brandon Stephens, who got a 3-year deal for $36 million. And Brandon Stephens got a lot of us cocking our head sideways like, Brandon Stephens, who the hell? Brandon Stephens. Okay. Brandon Stephens. He's this guy, $36 million. He was a corner in Baltimore for the last handful of years. And, you know, when you receive a contract like that, not only obviously are you starting, you're going to be a key piece of whatever the Jets are doing. The Jets have clearly identified Brandon Stephens. And we later found out after the Jets signed Brandon Stephens that apparently he was a hot ticket item. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero said the Jets were, in it with a bunch of teams that wanted to sign Brandon Stephens. It was like a quasi bidding war happening. They're like, all right. According to the Dallas Cowboys ESPN NFL Nation reporter, the Cowboys were in deep negotiations with Brandon Stephens in the legal tampering period for a deal, and then he pulled out to go sign with the Jets. So the Cowboys could have, should have, would have gotten this guy, but the Jets stole him away from the Cowboys. Now, some Jet fans are like, boy, I wish the Cowboys would have signed him based on everything that we've heard here from Stephens. But here's this. Let's take it a step further. Matt Holder of Bleacher Report recently predicted that just within a matter of months, Stephens will go from one of the highest paid Jets free agents to the bench before week one even starts. Here's what he had to say. The defense is looking at having at least one new starter at safety and cornerback. While free agent signing Brandon Stevens is the favorite to start opposite Gardner, he says, don't sleep on Qwan'tezStiggers, who is a CFL All-Star Rookie of the Year in 2023. And Holder predicted that the Week 1 starting cornerback, so the New York Jets, would be Sauce Gardner, okay. Michael Carter II, okay. And Qwan'tezStiggers, what in the world? Now, whoa. Let's just break it down here. There's a couple of things. Brandon Stevens not starting Week 1 would be a massive surprise. It'd be a massive surprise because no matter what you think of Brandon Stevens, this guy's going to get a chance to prove it. He's going to get a chance to prove himself. No matter what, that's going to happen. No matter what, he's going to get a chance to prove that the Jets were right. They're not just going to spend $36 million and then he never gets an opportunity. That would totally surprise me if that happens. So he's at least going to get a handful of weeks into the season, if not the entire season, to show what the New York Jets thought, because Aaron Glenn has said on multiple occasions, that he truly believes that Brandon Stevens has elite traits. He's always around the ball, but he just needs the last final bit of what Aaron Glenn believes is coaching to get over the top and be that guy. So again, it would surprise me if Brandon Stevens ain't starting Week 1. But if you told me he wasn't starting Week 1, he said, Paul, I have a crystal ball here. Whoop. I've looked ahead to Jets Steelers. Brandon Stevens is not on the field for some reason. He's not starting. Paul, predict who will be the starting corner. And if I was gifted that opportunity, and I could answer that right now, hand to God, Boy Scout honor, okay? I would say Azareye'h Thomas. This guy was a third-round pick that Matt Miller, let me not just generalize, Matt Miller specifically, NFL drafting analyst for ESPN, said coming out of the Senior Bowl, he thought Azareye'h Thomas was a first-round pick. And he said the only reason he fell was because of the poor 40 time. Think about that. The Jets got a first-round player in the third round. So if you told me, hey, Paul, Brandon Stevens ain't starting Week 1, but guess who it is? I'd be like, Azareye'h Thomas, obviously. Wrong, according to Bleacher Report. They think Qwan'tezStiggers. Now, let me say this. I'm not trying to put any disrespect on Qwan'tezStiggers. I like Qwan'tezStiggers. I like Qwan'tezStiggers a lot. Last year, getting him in or not last year, it would be technically last year, but 2024, getting him in the 5th round, I was like, wow, what a steal. Look at this talented guy. Great story. We brought Jory Epstein on from Yahoo Sports, who did this deep dive into his story, which was awesome. And I love that interview. You guys could go check that out. I'm sure that's in the Biggest Boy Green interview YouTube playlist there. And that's awesome, man. There was a great story for Qwan'tez. And Qwan'tez did say at the end of this past season, he was doing a one-on-one interview with the team reporters. They do these exit interviews for like 3, 4, 5 minutes when they leave. And Qwan'tezStiggers said he promises he's going to be a starting cornerback next season. And I'm like, I don't see how that's going to happen. And then the offseason happens as it happens. So who am I or anyone to deny Qwan'tezStiggers? I hope that he makes some noise, but that'd be crazy. To overtake a $36 million free agent would be crazy. And then to overtake Azareye'h Thomas based on his draft status, it would be a stunning turn of events. But I'm rooting for Stiggers, so that would be cool. That'd be a great op. Again, we lose Brandon Echols this offseason. We lose DJ Reed this offseason. So there's wiggle. New players, obviously, Azareye'h Thomas and Brandon Stevens have been added to the pool. And you got Jarek Bernard-Converse in that mix, who is looking pretty good in the preseason. Obviously, you still have Sauce. You still got MC2. You know, there's a lot there. But we'll see what happens there. But I'm curious. We'll dive more into the story in a little bit because I see memberships are raining from the high heavens, baby. Let's go. J-Boy and a brand new J-Boy avatar here. He's gifting a 10-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Hell yeah. Every time we get 5 memberships or more, we got to play a little video package. Feel even better about it. Hit him with that Jabo.
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
Good Lord have mercy here. J-Boy has 150 raffle tickets so far this month. He's been kicking Patuki. We love it. And our second place is for Lily and Big D with 65. So J-Boy has been running away with this month. Now, the most memberships doesn't always guarantee the prize, but that puts J-Boy in a much better position, that's for sure. And 10 Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Let's get into it. Jovan White, Gilbert Gonzalez, Jets Runny, Daz Akustif, Jets Johnny, Ronald Lake, Goose McGee. All right. Nick Shine's missing toe. I love that one every time. Mr. Roberts, John Sauer. You guys are all now members to the Gosh Darn Boy Green Coffee Club. Pour one out for you, boy. J-Boy. Love it. Way to go, J-Boy. So 150 raffle tickets for our May contest. There we go. Let's get it rolling. And guys, let me do this real quick. Let me do this. A lot of you know this individual I'm about to bring up because he's been a big piece of this show. There's no question about it. He's been a big piece of the support of this show. He's in our Boy Green Meets Woody intro. A big piece of the show is our number one Austrian Jet fan. And for those who have not heard, Austrian's been going through some stuff that has restricted him from contributing in the show in the same ways that he has before. In terms of his impact, again, to talk to you guys in the comment section and all that. So our number one Austrian Jet fan has been going through some stuff. And we all go through stuff in life. And Austrian has certainly been going through some stuff. But I love to share updates when I can because that's the coolest thing that we can possibly do. And I have no other positive news. I have positive news to share. I'm saying that very poorly. I was going to show an update. We'll see if the internet is working with us to see if we can. Looks like the Discord app is down right now, but I'll either do it on my phone here in a second or not because we have a update from our number one Austrian Jet fan. And yeah, it looks like Discord is going to be working. So we'll do it off the phone. That's okay. This won't look as good, but we'll do it all the same. I want to give a shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan who sent me an update yesterday. Okay. He sent me an update yesterday. I want to show it to all you guys. He said, I'll read you the caption and then I'll show you the picture he sent along. Battling Brave, day 12 in the clinic, day 1 of special therapy, 7 more to go. Love the Boy Green Coffee Club. Take care, Coffee Club. And here's a picture of our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. Here you go. Here's our number one Austrian Jet fan. So please salute. Please show your love for our number one Austrian Jet fan. I've been communicating with him as he's been going through the stuff he's been going through. I don't know how many people have ever seen our number one Austrian Jet fan. By the way, here's a story. Right? So here's our number one Austrian Jet fan. This is what he looks like. It's our big support. He's been going through a lot of stuff recently. So I see the update message from number one Austrian Jet fan, and he sends it in, right? So I'm reading it, and then he sends his picture along saying, hey, I'm staying strong, okay? My fiance looks over my shoulder and goes, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, it's our number one Austrian Jet fan. And she's like, ooh, baby. Well, what's the cheapest ticket to Austria? I'm like, what the hell? I'm sitting right here, woman. And apparently she's all hunky-dory over our number one Austrian Jet fan. I can't blame her. He's got a wonderful beard here. Great, jet action. He looks all muscled up. But I was like, what the hell? What gives? What's going on here? So number one Austrian Jet fan, the mere presence of you is increasing everyone going on in the country of Austria. My fiance was very impressed. A beard for the ages, no question, a Meadowland Swamp Thing. Absolutely. He's got a good, whatever they call that, seasoning. Whatever's going on there. But yeah, apparently a number one Austrian Jet fan. You rev the engine of my fiance. Wow. There you go. So salute. But in all seriousness, it's good to hear Austrian Jet fans doing better. It's good to hear that. Austrian's been an awesome member of this channel. I love when he interacts with everybody in the comment section. He's been a big leader for a long time, and at all times, we're going to be going through stuff, guys, and I hope we're all there to support each other when these things happen. And we've had all kinds of listeners. I don't want to list any because we're gonna miss out on people, but there have been listeners that have gone through things personally, professionally, and we've supported them here on this show in any way that we can, and hopefully we can continue to do that. Yeah, but he does have a beard for the ages, so salute, baby, salute to our number one Austrian Jet fan. Let's play a few comments here. Floor Lily and Big D for Aussie. Oi. Sending in a $9.99 super chat, baby, for our number one Austrian Jet fan. Super cool. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, Floor Lily. That's really cool of you. Man. Again, he's an awesome dude. He's an awesome dude, and I'm glad that over the course of time, he's obviously supported the show financially, which has been really cool, and it's been cool to send it because I've never sent packages outside of the country before. So sending stuff to Austria was a trip, and the packages spin around for forever. It takes forever to get there, but I'm glad eventually when it got there. Our number one Austrian Jet fan sent us a little like picture of all the stuff that he got, so that was super cool. So again, salute to our number one Austrian Jet fan. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Oh wait, okay, I think I got this working now. So here we go. Here's another picture of Austrian Jet fan to swoon all the women and men in our audience, both perhaps. Here we go. Let's throw this up for our number one Austrian Jet fan here. You finally got Discord to work. Here it is. Here's our number one Austrian Jet fan. A better picture of our number one Austrian Jet fan. So salute, buddy. We're thinking about you. Stay strong. You know, there's a lot that goes on, pal. There's a lot that goes on in life, and we're here for you. Hashtag Austrian strong, baby. Austrian strong, brother. We're thinking about you. Forever a Boy Green Coffee Club member. Forever one of us. Forever a Jets fan and all the like, man. We'll be thinking about you. So keep powering through. Seems like you're going through a lot. We're going to be there for you, pal. 100%. 100 freaking percent. So thank you for Lily for that. I appreciate that. BG, you need to dye your beard. I've got silver whiskers, and you want to know what? If anyone is an inspiration, it's Austrian. He doesn't give a flying hoot, and neither do I. If silvers come, silvers come. If I'm looking like Santa, one of these, I'm looking like Green Bean, right? All of a sudden, you're like, holy shit, I can't tell the difference. Which show am I on? Okay? So be it. I'll let it be in the hands of the gods. Whatever they say, they say. I'm just going to ride with their choice. They say, hey, we want to keep this, whatever color this is, brown for the foreseeable future. Great. They go, Paul, boom, Santa Claus. Okay, I guess I'm Santa Claus. I'll be playing Santa at future blah, blah. So I'm not going to have to wear a fake beard. I'll just have the real thing. So be it. We'll figure it out. Yeah, that's how I feel about the matter. Good morning, BG. Prayers to Austrian. Prayers to Austrian. Love it. And look at that. Booyah. Jimmy Jets with a 20-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Good Lord have mercy. Wow. 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 That's a big WOW right there. Boom. Jimmy Jets hitting them with it. All right, we got nearly 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. It's raining memberships. You want to be a part of it, you got to be here on the chat, baby. All right, Jimmy Jets, you know, have 30 raffle tickets so far this month. I believe that ties Trey Correa. You've surged into the top 5, my man. I do believe, and I believe correctly, Trey Correa, meet Jimmy Jets, baby. He has just joined in on the top 5 fun. Let's put you in Jimmy Jets. Here we go. Just like that, he could jump into the mix. He's there in the top 5, tied with Trey Correa with 30 raffle tickets so far this month with his previous contributions. All righty, let's read all the new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And our boy Jared B just dropped the Discord link so you guys can jump on the Discord as well if you were gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let's go to Nitty. Dallas James Santana, M30, Sweet Baby Jesus, Ray Noble, Dan New York, Frank, ISU_RB4L, J Mull, Brian Rapp, Jetstrong 1273, Dr. V-Man, thank you, Doctor, New York Cursor, Pastor Carlos Reyes, Father, Nick U. Boo Boo, Yorin, Tony Del Filippo Jr., Luis Cordova, Harry W., E. The Key, Alexander Brown. You guys are all now members to the gosh darn Boy Green Coffee Club. And thank Jimmy Jets for it raining. Boom shakalaka. Love to see it. Again, Jimmy Jets, 30 raffle tickets so far this month. Keep it raining, baby. Let's go. Let's break some records. Let's make some noise. Jimmy Jets, thank you very much. Stay strong, Austrian. Thank you for the kind words and messages, people. As Austrian continues to send updates to me, I will share them as he allows with the Boy Green Coffee Club. So, yeah, baby. Middleland Swamp Thing says, clap, clap. I believe in Joe Hendry. Clap, clap. For people that don't understand that, you can hit that with a Goog search. You're welcome. There you go. And in terms of J-Boy says, BG, did you get the memberships from me post-show yesterday? Let me take a gander here. Let me see if it popped up appropriately. 1 second. 1 second. Let me take a gander here. Let's go. Apparently, I did not get a notification for it, so let me see. Let me go back to the comments section and see if we have anything popping in there. No, nothing looks like it shows. Interesting. All right, J-Boy, you'll have to just tell me what it was. You'll have to tell me what it ended up being. J-Boy, for some reason, it did not. Well, actually, there's one more place I could check, so hang on tight. Let me check that. I know some people do choose to do that. A-Step10 has done that several times. Let me see if I can see it. My YouTube studio. Let me dive in here on the studio. By the way, shout out to all you wonderful subscribers. We're now over 7,733 subscribers. Thank you, guys. We are absolutely cooking, baby. So friggin' cool. We're getting closer and closer to 10,000. That's my big goal. My big goal. We're less than 2,300 away. Less than 2,300 away. And we're going to keep chipping. Chip, chip. Chip, chip, baby. Hell yeah. Let's go. Okay. All right. Hang on tight here. I'm going to see it in here. Let me see. J-Boy's thing should be in here in a hot second. All right. My apologies for the delay in the show, everybody. Hang on tight. All right. I should see this right. One moment, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not popping up in here. I don't know. Wait, maybe here it'll be. Here it'll be. No. Not sure what's going on. Sorry about that, J-Boy, for any ones that came in after the fact. Trying to see the gifting level. Nope. Sorry. You'll just have to tell me, J-Boy, and I'll add those in. My apologies. Sorry, the internet and action didn't happen there for you. It was sent from this show. Wait 1 second. Oh, this show? Like before the show started? Oh, let me see. Let me go back up. Oh, I guess I missed it. Let me try to grab that real quick. My apologies, J-Boy. Let me go ahead and grab those in here on the program. My apologies, everybody. There we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. Yes, the 10 memberships from earlier. Here we go. Yeah, let's get these in. Yes, okay. Here we go. Yes. I did find them. Sorry there, J-Boy. I did find them here on the program. Yep, got those ones. Okay. And maybe I didn't. I'm not sure, J-Boy. My apologies. I'm not sure where those got lost there. But anywho, yes, wherever they are, just let me know, and I will, of course, totally honor those. I'm not sure why those didn't come through here on the program. So you can reach out to me separately, J-Boy, or wherever, because I can't see wherever those were. I just tried to take a peek ski around. Yeah. All right, everybody, keep it rolling. Let's keep it going here. We'll open up the phone lines here in just a moment. We got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, and the content is this. That's what we started the show with. Is that Matt Holder of Bleacher Report believes that the Jets' big free agent splash, that the big free agent splash of Brandon Stevens is going to result in the benching, and thus we will get someone else as well. And great, J-Boy, you can email me later and we'll figure all that out. Don't want anyone to go missing with their gifting that happens here on the channel. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't think so. I that would surprise me. It would surprise me if he gets mentioned early. If he did, I would believe Azaria Thomas would get that opportunity. But I'm rooting for Stiggers. Hopefully he can sort of take that Brandon Echols role. Now, that role will be difficult because Azaria Thomas just came in. But You're going to have Sauce, you're going to have Michael Carter II, you're going to have Brandon Stevens, you're going to have Azaria Thomas. And then the other question is, and we don't know this yet, the other question is this: how is this new regime, general manager Darren Muji, head coach Aaron Glenn, how are they going to handle positions? Do they keep 5 receivers? Do they keep 6 receivers? Do they keep 4 running backs? Do they keep 3 running backs? Do they keep 6 corners? Do they keep 7 corners? Or whatever. All of those have ripple effects. And normally it's either a philosophy thing that we're always going to keep insert amount of position, or it's somewhat flexible based on the talent that's available. We'll keep more corners this year versus offensive linemen or what have you. So I'm going to be very curious. To see sort of where that goes from here, which obviously could answer some other questions as well. Here's another thing I want to throw out, though. So that's a topic matter. You guys can read that article. It's in the YouTube description down below. Here's another thing. And yeah, Alan says Chris Boyd. Again, that's sort of like a Justin Hardy situation there. I don't really count him at his position, but right, that would be another one for special teams. But that's a good point, Alan. It's the same thing that happened at running back, Kane Nguanu. Technically, he counts as one of the running backs, even though I don't know how much he's playing running back. Maybe that changed with Tanner Engstrand, who gets a little creative. We'll see. But here's the other thing, folks. Here's the other thing. We've got big news of things that's coming tomorrow. OTA starts tomorrow, baby. Let's go. Here is the OTA off-season workout schedule for the New York Jets. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get some OTA practices. OTA practices start tomorrow. It'll be May 20th through the 22nd. Okay? May 20th through the 22nd. So that is from Tuesday to Thursday. We'll have a pocket of practices. 3 practices. So obviously we'll get some Aaron Glenn availability to talk to the coach. We'll get some news and notes on the players, which will be great content for us. And then we'll get more OTA practice. They're going to break. So they're going to do 20th through the 22nd, and then they're going to break. And then the 28th through the 30th, that is next, not this upcoming Wednesday, next Wednesday through Friday. That's the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Another set of OTA workouts. And then another mini break. And then we have June 2nd to the 5th. That'll be Monday, June 2nd through the 5th on Thursday. So then you'll have all those OTA workouts. And then you have another little break. And then mandatory minicamp is June 10th through the 12th. So I'll run all through that again in a second. But long story short, that means we're going to get plenty of content here on the show. Blessed be he of OTA workouts, mandatory minicamp, Aaron Glenn media availability, player availability. And then after that June 12th date, well, we're going to have a big break. Not a break on Boy Green Daily. We're going to keep doing a show every bleeping day, of course. But there will be a break in terms of the actual Jetish stuff happening. Or hopefully anyway, because I don't want no Sheldon Richardson driving 100 miles an hour with a gun and a baby in the car. I don't want any of that extracurricular activity to happen during that break. Anytime you get a news update on June 20th, it's normally not a good sign. July 4th weekend, not going to mention any names, not good. So we want to avoid that if we can. I'm okay if none of that content's hitting the show. As much as I appreciate content, that sort of content I'd rather not talk about. So again, over the next 3 weeks, we're going to have OTA workouts, May 20th through the 22nd. That starts tomorrow. Next week, 28th through the 30th. The week after that, June 2nd through the 5th. And then the minicamp, mandatory minicamp, is 10th through the 12th. I just want to make sure that's noted for anyone that plans on going on any foreign travel. 10th through the 12th. Just in case you got to rearrange a sketch. 10th through the 12th. All right? Just want to throw that out there in the universe. There you go. So there we go, baby. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to have OTAs and actual workouts and new regime, right? With obviously Aaron Glenn here and Darren Moji. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got 600 people in the room now. Like the video, hit subscribe, spread the good gospel of all things Boy Green Daily here, baby. Austrian Jet fan updates, OTAs, topics galore, memberships raining from the high heavens. It's been a good show so far, but let's open up the phone lines and allow you, the people, to call into the program. We'll have a quick hep timeout. If you'd like to call into the show, that is a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25, or it will be here in just a moment. That is your way to interact on the show. If you have questions, comments, anything of that nature, feel free to share them. That'll be coming up next right here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Buggy Daily, New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Before we get to any phone calls here on a beautiful Monday, May 19th, before we get to that, I'd like to answer this question because we've heard this a lot. I haven't been promoting it as much, and here's why. Okay, well, of course, we do have the Boy Green Tailgate Extravaganza Spectacular this season. I'll be hosting a Jets home game where you guys will be able to sit with me at the Jets game. All of us crazy Boy Green Coffee Club members and Jet fans all together rooting for our team. That will happen. Plus, the tailgate, Chef Kevin Gilbert, I salute, who will be catering all the food at said event and will also be providing drinks, more on that to come. But yes, if you guys would still like to sign up for that game, you can. Do it in the YouTube description down below. This initial, you filling out this Google Doc sign-up sheet, and if you can't access it, just email me. My email is in my YouTube bio section, but I'll also repeat it. It's Paul, P-A-U-L, A the letter, E-S-D-E-N, my last name, jr@gmail.com. And again, if you can't access that Google Doc sheet, you can just email me and say, hey, Paul, can't access the Google Doc sheet, but I want to come to the Tailgate Spectacular. I want 3 tickets. I want 3 of this. I want 3 of that. Let me know. So, yes, you guys can still sign up for that in the YouTube description down below. But the reason why I'm not screaming it from the rooftops for a small, brief period of time is because, yes, it appears the game has been voted on the Meadowlands Swamp Thing. We took votes on this show on YouTube. We took votes on Boy Green Meets Woody, YouTube voting. We also took votes for people that are Boy Green Coffee Club members, like yourself, that have access to the Discord. We also took votes in that private sector as well. And after tallying up all the votes, the winning game is Week 5, the New York Jets and Dallas Cowboys, October 5th. That is the game that was voted on by you, the people, that won the majority of the votes. I reached out to the New York Jets at the mid part of last week. I called the New York Jets up, said, beep, boop, bop. Hey, what's up, Jets? I don't know why I'm like all of a sudden mimicking the phone call like that matters. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. But I call them up and I say, hey, we want the Cowboys game. And they're like, okay, how many people? And I'm giving them head count based on, again, our Google Doc sheet and all that jazz. And so I'm supposed to learn in the coming days. Today's Monday, so it should be anywhere in the next couple of days here, probably mid part of this week, Wednesday, Thursday-ish. The Jets are going to call me back and say, hey, man, here's what the ticket prices look like for what you were looking for. Boop. And then as soon as I get that information, I go, aha, okay, now we know what to tell the people on how much everything is. Because then we'll be able to determine a ticket price to go to the Jets game and a tailgate price. But it's going to be one big Boy Green extravaganza. You guys will be able to get the Jets ticket and the tailgate price. I'll give you one big price, depending on how many tickets you guys are getting and all that jazz. I'll explain all that in detail, but that'll be coming up. So the game has been voted on. It is going to be the Dallas Cowboys game, barring something unforeseen. So it is going to be the Cowboys game. The only thing I'm waiting for, and why I'm not screaming it from the rooftops right now, is I want ticket price. And I'm sure a lot of you are waiting for that. A lot of you are waiting for what game it's going to be. Now you know that information. It's Jets. It's Cowboys. It's October 5th. It's 1 o'clock. It's Week 5. Okay, 1 o'clock game. So all that information is out there in the ethos. That is true, 100%. And Dakota says, fuck Dallas. I want to throw that one up there. Sure, yeah. Isn't that a great reason to go? Yeah. Pops will be there. We have Hop on Pop. He's going. James Woody's going to be there. He's going to be co-hosting that event with me. We got Chef Kevin Gilbert. My whole family's going to be there. My beautiful fiance, my 3-year-old daughter, Zariah Luna, my young son, who at that point, I don't know what the math is, but he'll be close to he'll be like 11 months old. I know how old he'll be. He'll be almost a year old. He'll be going to his first Jets game. It's going to be pretty cool. So salute to my son and family and everyone that's going to be there. And hopefully we all get to meet each other. That'd be a wonderful time. But like I said, the last piece of the puzzle I'm waiting for is later this week. I should learn ticket price and tailgate price. And then I'm going to reach out to all you guys. That's why it's super important. If you guys are interested, is fill out the Google Doc sheet and put in the last column is your email, point of contact. Because as soon as I find out the ticket price information, I'm going to be emailing you, each of you individually, not some group email. Don't worry. It'll be that group chat thing. Respond all, reply all, reply all. None of that's happening. I'll reach out to you individually. Say, hey, Johnny, you said you wanted 5 tickets. Here's the price. Are you still in? Yes or no? If no, no worries. Okay, the price was higher than I thought, or lower than whatever happened. Something came up, I can't go. No worries. That's why this Google Doc sign up sheet is not the end all be all. It's not if you sign up 100%, I'm coming to you with a baseball bat looking for money. That's not how this is working. It's purely for head count because I'm trying to give an accurate number to the New York Jets. So again, if you have any interest whatsoever, make sure you hit that up in the Google Doc sign up sheet. And again, we should learn that information later this week. Fingers crossed. And then we'll get the final pieces going for this Jets-Cowboys game. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome to do this in the first full year, and hopefully it's something we can do every year moving forward. So thank you, everybody, for the support and interest so far. More info to come. Thank you, Middleland Swamp Thing. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. It's New York next week. Scotty's here on the program. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, we have a couple of days to bask in the glory, and I'm hoping they come out strong. So what's your prediction, Boy Green? What do you think? Who is going to play in the finals? And
Interesting.
Does Minnesota have a chance?
I think so. I like Minnesota a lot. I love Ant-Man. He's got a great personality. Now, the problem is Ant-Man has been a little hot and cold in these playoffs. They sometimes they have won in spite of him, which speaks to the team, right? If you can win without your superstar player going off, that's good news in a way, because if he ever turns it on consistently and the rest of the team is turned on, then they can make some noise. And think about it. OKC was just pushed to 7 by Denver. Now, Denver's a former defending champion, so you have to give them their respect and credence for that. This Thunder team is young, and so is this Timberwolves team. They're both young. They haven't really been there, done that yet. So, yeah, I 100% give a puncher's chance to Minnesota. No question about it. They're totally in the conversation. We're in the Final Four now, to your point. We've got Pacers, Knicks, and I don't know, man. I think sometimes I heard this explained. I can't remember if this was Mike Greenberg on air or not. I think it was Greeny, where he said sometimes you don't find the championship finds you. In other words, I don't know how many. I can only speak to my radio partner who's a diehard Knicks fan, and he told me at the beginning of the year that, Boy Green, this is not a championship year for us. This was his perspective as a Knicks fan. He said, I want to make a deep run. I want to push your Celtics, because he just thought it was a foregone conclusion that the Celtics were going to win. He said, I'm going to push their ass, and then next year, hopefully, we're in the championship conversation. That's what he told me before the year started. I said, okay, wonderful. Then we're going through the year, and obviously now everything's happened. The Knicks are in the finals. And now you're just one series away from competing for an NBA championship, and all kinds of crazy shits happen, right? Cleveland implodes against Pacers. They implode against Pacers. Obviously, everything that happened in the Celtics-Knicks series, sometimes you're like, you know what? Maybe the freaking Washington Commanders last year. They went to the freaking NFC Championship. How many people had that on the bingo card? So sometimes things just happen that we don't expect, and that's the beauty of sports. And then you just sort of embrace it. So to me, I know Knicks fans may enjoy or not enjoy this. I think the Knicks are going to win the entire championship. I think they're going to go. My gut tells me it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's going to go somewhere in the ballpark of 6 or 7 games, and the Knicks are going to win the whole thing.
So who do you think in the Minnesota series, who do you think Caruso is going to be guarding, Randall or Ant-Man?
See, that's just shout out to Caruso, where this trade happens before the year and a player-for-player swap, and no one really, it sort of gets, like, from the deeper NBA people that know Caruso and some of his defense analytics, you kind of went, ooh, that could matter. But the rest of it's not like, we didn't get this sound effect when it happened, as I'm operating. So we didn't get this. Alex Caruso has just been traded. Whoa, there's none of that. I don't even know if even Alex Caruso's family played that noise when he got traded, for Pete's sake. And so, to me, that's a fascinating question. I'm curious how they all match up 5 for 5, because Caruso is just like sneaky. Like if they end up making the finals, people are going to be like, "Whoa, who's this Caruso guy?" Because I don't know if the great NBA all knows about Caruso and his defensive ability. That's fascinating. I'll have to think about that more. I'm not sure who I would put him against.
Caruso, I mean, Randall's been fantastic. I mean, if you watch some of the games. So, Ant's going to get his, but if they want to shut somebody down, it'd be really interesting to me if they put Caruso on Randall, because he did a hell of a job, in the series,
on Jokic, giving him a lot of problems.
Wow. Yeah. I couldn't believe how good he is. And He's got a lot of the same kind of traits like Mitchell Robinson. Robinson doesn't play as much, but
Interesting.
Robinson can literally shut down a guard. I mean, I've never seen a center that can guard like Robinson. He's amazing. He impacted that series. I think the Celtics would tell you to a man so much. I mean, some of the plays that he was making and the rebounding was crazy. So, that's going to be interesting if we do play them, but I just think it would be poetic if the Knicks play the Timberwolves.
Right, because of the trades. How often do we have win-win trades, right? Someone either wins or someone loses. And the fact that we're where we are, it sounds like a win-win. Both teams have made their respective conference finals with this roster reshuffling. So, right, there would be a beautiful poeticness that Dante DiVincenzo and Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and all those guys would be looking at each other from across the court and say, one of us is about to win an NBA championship and be immortal basketball gods for the rest of our lives. It's going to be one of us, but it can't be both of us. Yeah.
I would love that. At the same time, I really want to go against the best, but whoever wins, I guess, is the best.
Sure.
It's a 7-game series, right?
Correct. Right.
So getting back to the Jets, because this is Jet Nation, Boy Green. You represent it so well.
Thank you.
Free agent wise, is there anybody out there, if you could look at the free agents that are still available to the Jets? I think we all agree, the defensive line is an area of weakness. I mean, we have an abundance of talent at the defensive backs, but what's out there? Is there anything out there for us at the defensive line that can help Quinnen Williams?
So that's a good point. Let's pull up who is still available at this point.
Under 30, apparently.
Well, yeah, apparently so. That's apparently a line of demarcation here. So in terms of available guys, let's see. So Jadeveon Clowney's already off the board, so he has not been updated on this list, but obviously he is no longer available. Oh, wait, did he sign with someone? Wait, or maybe not. Maybe I just lied and made that up.
I don't think he did.
Okay, if not,
he's more of a defensive end, though. We need
Okay, yeah, it's okay. He's still available. Excuse me, he's still available. So let's see here. So there's a mix of. There doesn't appear to be a lot of defensive tackles available. The best one that's available, according to the Spot Track, and they base this off their previous salary, is Raekwon Davis. He's 27, so that fits well within the Aaron Glenn bingo card previously of Indianapolis. So he's still on this board as a defensive tackle. The next one is Austin Johnson, a former Buffalo Bill, but he's over 30, so that's not possible. Let me see here. Let me see if I can categorize this by age. Perfect. Here we go. Here's a bunch of. Ooh boy, yikes! Well, the sheeps are a little thin here. There's not both overall wise and age wise, as I'm specifically looking in that category. There's not a lot of meat on this bone, if I'm being blunt.
You think Leonard Taylor is gonna take a big step up? Do you think he could play the run? I mean, he showed flashes last year. Let's be honest, he didn't play that much. But what do you think about him as a player?
It's funny because if you're an optimistic Jets fan, which I claim to be, I try to believe that everything the Jets did was on purpose. So let's play the example. The Jets didn't touch a defensive tackle in this class, and there was 30 of them drafted. People on the outside say it's the deepest, richest defensive tackle class in like 20 years. The Jets explain after, if you look at the medicals and the characters, it gets pretty thin pretty quick. And if I'm just to believe everything that the Jets say, okay, makes a lot of sense. Why? And then you start asking yourself, why didn't they sign a big boy? There's a bunch of them in free agency, straight up free agency at the beginning of what's it like? I can even pull it up here the opposite way. Who are the people that were signed here? Milton Williams went for crazy ass money as a defensive tackle. Jonathan Allen got released and he got crazy money. Javon Kinlaw, LOL. Grady Jarrett was here. Javon Hargrave. Javelin Tomlinson was the guy I was thinking of, the big fat boy that went to the Cardinals. Like there was a bunch of big space-eating defensive tackles, but the Jets didn't touch him. And then you're just left to think, why? Did they make a mistake and they blew it? Or Leonard Taylor III, are they way higher on him in that building than people on the outside are? And they don't know him, but the Jets and Bill go, oh yeah, this is our guy. And this is why.
Have they said anything about, I haven't heard anything about Leonard Taylor. Like, is it even in, Aaron Glenn, Anything?
It's been light commentary, if any, so far. But again, the good news is starting tomorrow. I don't know. I'll have to look specifically when the Aaron Glenn media schedule is, but he's going to be speaking at each of these pockets of availability this week, next week, the week after, and then mandatory minicamp. He's going to talk several times too. So, no, we haven't heard a lot on Leonard Taylor III, but that would be mine, again, assuming that the Jets are doing what they're doing. How could you not feel upside about Leonard Taylor III? He showed pops. And sometimes this is unfair to do, but if you extrapolate playing time and say, wow, Leonard Taylor III did this with the playing time he had, if you gave him more playing time, he could do this. So, yes, from a pass rush perspective, there's plenty of juice. What he will have to prove to the universe is that he could do that on a more consistent basis. And number two, on stopping the run. The other thing that I think is going to help stopping the run is the schematic change. We still don't know what specifically that is yet. Maybe we'll get some notes and quotes here in OTAs. Are they going to be a 4-3 team? They're going to be a 3-4 team? AG and Steve Wilkes both have both of those histories in their background, so I'm kind of curious how those mesh, because Steve Wilkes is the one that's calling plays. So schematically speaking, is there something they can do that can help better against the run regardless of this, the talent that's on the field? I'm sort of curious about that too.
Well, go Knicks. We love that you're jumping on the bandwagon because we need your positivity.
Sure.
And to Alon, I say keep rooting for the teams against the Knicks. I know yesterday he picked the Knicks in 7, but today he's back on his Knick annihilation. So go Alon, keep rooting against us and see how that works out.
There you go. Love it. Scotty, appreciate you, pal. Yes, do it. Oh, boy. I can't wait. That series will be awesome. The Knicks are getting plenty of rest time. I guess you won't complain about that Wednesday. But the other thing is the Western Series starts earlier, but they ended last. That doesn't make any sense, but hey, good for the Knicks. Let's get a few comments in here. Jojo Townsend says, LT3 posts workout videos every day. I see it. We follow each other on social media. Well, eventually I have to get him on the show here during the summer. That'd be awesome for Leonard. I'm very excited for the young man. LT3, baby. LT3. I'm really excited. And hey, if you're LT3, and I think I said this a bunch of weeks ago, if you're Leonard Taylor III, you're smiling ear to ear on this offseason. While there's some Jet fans who are like, geez, defensive tackle. They didn't do nothing. What's going on here? Okay? As you're with whatever voice I just made up that you have. As you're doing that, Leonard Taylor III goes perfect. The opportunity is right in front of me. If I'm the player I believe I am, and I'm Leonard Taylor III, the Jets have lined it up beautifully. I just got to knock down these pins. I'm the guy. You don't need any other guy. I'm the guy. And it'll be up to Leonard to deliver that message wholeheartedly coming over the coming months. So, yeah, I'm very excited about Leonard. Obviously, again, the pass rush juice was obvious. Now, the run defense, we will have to see. Can he evolve that department? It's hard to really judge off anything based on his snap percentages. I don't think there's a conviction that can be made here if obviously he's this or obviously he's that. I don't think so. But I'm very excited about it. There's a nugget. Taylor Strong said 7 defensive linemen on a team weren't on the team last year. Again, what do they feel about the 3? Byron Cowart, Derek Noddy, Jay Tufele. Darren Moody says, all those guys have played in the National Football League. I say, okay, I didn't know that was the standard, that they had just played at this level. Like, what can they contribute? Are those better than we think? Because on the surface, those moves are very, Again, you can give love to Derek Noddy if you want to, as a multi-time Super Bowl champion, and 6 of his 7 years in the league, he was a full-time rotational starter for the Chiefs. Last year, played 20% of the snaps, wasn't very. But if you want to put him in a separate category, even though the money, he's making like nothing. He's making under $1.5 million. And then the other guys are all making in similar pools of Byron Cowart and Jay Tufele are all in similar financials. And normally financials can tell you what they think of the player sometimes. Sometimes you just get good deals. We'll sort of balance that out and see what's the truth. But there's a bunch of guys that are in this rotation that we have to see, again, are they higher on them in the building than we are on the outside? We're hoping for that, but sometimes that's not always how it be. 700 people in the room. The numbers are growing, baby. Appreciate everybody watching the show this morning here on Monday, May 19th. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hep joins us here on the program. Hep, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. I saw something about this punter that we signed, that he threw 7 touchdown passes.
Whoa. Okay. Kai. Yeah, it's got to be the undrafted rookie. Yeah.
He's a trick. Like, he's got a lot of, and it wasn't Detroit. Weren't they doing a lot of fourth down plays and trick plays and stuff like that?
They were. I never got to share this clip because I can't remember where it was from, but Aaron Glenn, somewhere recently, could have been on one of the documentaries or something, was talking about the importance of special teams. And he said what you just said. He said, special teams is everything. Getting that little advantage of a fake or this or that. And he just mentioned it. And I just kind of put it in the back of my mind, like, are we about to see some crazy ass shit this year on special teams, all kinds of stuff? So, yeah, I put that. He said that somewhere recently here within the last month. And I just went, interesting. So, no, that's a good little nugget on Kai, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is, is the NFL going to be voting on this push-tush deal?
That's correct. Yeah. So shout out to Matt Lombardo, who joined our show yesterday. The two big things that they're going to be voting on at this owners meeting, and let me just double check that date. When is this NFL owners meeting here? All right. It's here in the month of May somewhere, but I'll have that date for you in just a second. But those are the two big things that they'll be voting on. It is, of course, the tush push. Here it is. Let's see. What's today? The 19th. So yeah, it's somewhere here at the end of the month here is this May meeting. They're going to vote on the tush push, and apparently the language is going to be exactly the same. So we'll see if Goodell just flexes and gets more people on that mission. And the other one is the reseeding. Again, the Philium rule is what I call it. I'm sure that's what they're going to call it in the NFL rulebook too. Is where basically if you win your division, you make the playoffs no matter what, of course. But you're not guaranteed a home playoff game anymore. We stack it NBA style. So like the entire AFC, everyone who wins their division gets a playoff spot, but you're not guaranteed to be like a top 4 seed. It's going to all line up by record. And thus, what would happen is that we wouldn't have a Lions-Vikings thing last year where these two teams played. One would get the number 1 seed, a bye, and all this crazy shit. And the other team, sorry, pal, you're on the road and all this crap. So, both of those are big items, and this is very unusual. Normally, when we get to the second, we have an owners meeting like in March before free agency, and then we have a second owners meeting in May. Normally, the second one in May does not have really anything massive to vote on. It's sort of just some leftover material. So this is a very unusual year from that perspective.
Well, these are two pretty big situations here. I mean, I would say that the second one, as far as the seeding, that's probably going to be the longer shot to pass.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so much tradition as far as teams winning their division.
Change. Right.
And we play them twice a year for a reason.
That's where I'm at. Again, I might be old school and people throw rocks at me and say, adapt, old man, and this or that. But like winning your division and getting your playoff spot and guaranteeing a home playoff game, like again, for Jet fans, 2002. 2002 was the last time we won our division and knew that, boom, we're getting a home playoff game no matter what. Like we earned our way into it. And in this new world, if they pass this rule, that wouldn't guarantee bupkis. That would guarantee a playoff spot. That might be hitting the road to New Orleans or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't give you that guarantee of the home playoff game in this new world. So what others say is, well, then play better, and you'll win your division and get that home playoff game if you play well enough. But if you're friggin' 9-8 or this or that, sorry, pal, you may not. So we'll see. I think you're right. I think the tush push ends up getting banned, and maybe teams will come up with a new way to do it. And then the divisional thing, I think that's going to be a harder one to push so quickly. I don't think the league is going to be reactionary just to what happened and what, because like, how often does this Vikings-Lions thing happen? Like once every 10 years? Like, come on, man. I don't know. To me, to overreact to a little example like this, which sucks for the Vikings in this case who lost, but I'm not going to change the entire rules because of 1 year. Or the other side, where we have a 7-win NFC West champion like 15 years ago. I'm not going to suddenly go, geez, the system's broken. Okay, a couple of blips happen every once in a while. We move on.
I thought that tush push was actually a rule already as far as pushing the receiver forward.
It was pre-2004 or 2006. They had the rule forever, and they had it restricted before. And then like in 2004 or 2006, I can't remember the year. It's one of those two. And then they changed it where it said, sure, you could do it. And a lot of people just didn't do it. And then the Eagles said a couple years ago, let me give this thing a spin. And then they did it. So, now they want to go back to that same language, apparently. The same language that existed pre-2006 is apparently what they want to go for. I'm not sure if that's officially what's going to be in the proposal, though.
So the weather out today, that's what I'm imagining is going to be on October, like for the Dallas game. This is
okay, what's the weather right now, Hep?
It's early October weather. This is kind of like the weather it should be. Nice and cool breeze.
I love that.
Warm sun. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right, guys,
hey, I hope so. Can't
Me
wait.
too.
Thanks, Hep. Thanks for the call, brother. Good stuff. Yes, the NFL rules. And shout out to our new member of the Boy Green Coffee Club family. That is NFL insider Matt Lombardo, who will give us the latest on like these NFL rule changes and stuff of that nature. So we'll talk Jets with him and whatever's trending around the NFL. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be every Sunday. We put out the bat signal out to the universe. And Philium has answered. FL Phil 98's back, baby. What's up, Philium? And by the way, I'm going to give you massive credit, sir. Look at how you've pushed this rule through to the NFL, and now they're going to be voting on it. The Philium rule. It's terrific. Wow.
Well, the only reason I called in, can you hear me all right, by the way?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I'm just driving back from New Jersey.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But I called in because you're saying about, you don't want to have this impact from 1 year. This happens every year. There are teams every year with better records that go on the road. This has been being talked about for 20 years. They've been talking about this. And I called in one day and went through all kinds of stats with you. I mean, for the last 20 years, the majority of the time, there are multiple teams that don't make the playoffs, let alone get a home game to another team with a worse record that won a division. So what I've been stressing over.
Yep. I think we lost Philium. Philium, I'll try to bring you back on here and see if we can fix it. I will say I will amend a piece of what I said as we're trying to get Philium's thing back here. I think we're going to have him back here in a second. Is I would say that piece of it, of a road team basically having a better record than the home team, and thus that flip, like it could be 10-7 and 9-8 or something, or 11-9, like that's true. I was leaning towards more of the extreme examples of those outliers. To me, happen very infrequently, but yes, that's a good point. I think we got Philium back. Let me try to Philium, you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got you. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So it's Pep said something about, you play these teams twice for a reason. Your reward for winning your division is a playoff berth, no matter what your record is. If your record's good enough, you get a home game on top of that. That's really all it comes down to. I think there's a lot of, like he said, history and all that stuff that people don't like change. But, for the last 20 years, multiple teams don't even make the playoffs. A team wins 10, 11 games, and a 7-9 or an 8-9 team has won divisions and got a home game. And then you got teams that win 13, 14 games, 12 games, and go on the road to a team that won 8 or 9 or 10 games. That's all it is. You're not taking away anything, in my opinion. If you win your division, you are rewarded with a playoff berth. That does not change. The only thing that's being taken away is if you have a crappy record, you don't get the home game. And honestly, I've said for 20 years, I thought that made sense. So, this coming to fruition, I think it's been a long time coming. I really do.
Do you think it passes this year, Phil?
It probably doesn't, because they always do everything so slow. We've been trying to get to an 18-game schedule for 15 years, too. They just do things very slow. So I'll be surprised if it passes. I think ultimately it will sooner or later. But that's the only reason I called in, was I just wanted to clarify that a little bit.
Thanks, Philium. It's good to hear from you, brother.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Have a great day.
There he is, FL Phil 98. And again, the more that Philium talks, the more that I want to be open to the other possibilities. Again, I'm an old school guy in a lot of ways of the home playoff game. Like, basically what this boils down to is whether or not a home playoff game is too much of a reward for a team winning their division versus just making the playoffs, which, again, making the playoffs is great. We've done that in like 15 years, so like it's been a long ass time. Or 15 years ago is the last time we did. So, that part would be great to do. Yeah, I've just, again, maybe it's just the old school thing in me, but just because something is, to Philium's point, not that he said it as verbatim as this, but just because something has been around forever doesn't mean it's been right forever, We should be open to change. If something's been wrong for a long time, we can correct, long overdue mistakes, things of that nature. I've just always been a guy that a home playoff game and you're like earning your way to your fans, guaranteeing to your fans, hey, man, if we win the division, we're going to have a home playoff game. That's always been an important piece to me. And I know there's been other people that have complained. Now, to William's point, the thing I've glossed over is when it's close, right? We all remember the extreme examples. Again, I go back to the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl. The next year, they win like 12 games or something. I don't have it in front of me, but they win like 12 games. And the Seattle Seahawks win their division, the NFC South, or NFC West, excuse me. They win it with a 7-9 record. And there was a 5-win gap between the 7-win Seahawks and the 12-win Saints. And the Saints were the defending Super Bowl champion. And they had to hit the road because they did not win their division. So they went to Seattle and they get upset. Beastquake, all that. The question is, man, will the Saints, the Super Bowl defending champs, have been beaten in their own Superdome building? A lot of people question whether or not it is. All the right energies and everything came together for Seattle in that season to upset the New Orleans Saints. Again, the part that I've glossed over is an 11-win versus 10-win team. Like, shouldn't just the team with more wins, who in theory had the better season, shouldn't they just get the home playoff game? Now, here's the difference, though, right? Like NBA style. In NBA, it's a best of 7. So for a home, like the Celtics, Knicks, or anything, right? Celtics, well, based on the season, had the 2 home games to start, so the home court advantage based in a 7-game series if it goes all the way, and then 2-2, 1-1, and then you get to flip it. That is highlighted in an NBA example because, oh, don't worry, sure, you get the first 2, but then we get our home. Like in the NFL, it's 1 game. There's no double home. It's one game. That's it. That's the playoffs, elimination. So, interesting. Interesting. It's good conversation, though. So we'll see. But that'll be coming up with the NFL schedule makers. Those are the 2 big points of contention. If you guys missed that show, that's NFL Insider Matt Lombardi will join us every Sunday on Boy Green Daily. You guys can check out that interview. We'll also be putting up some YouTube shorts on that. He believes the tush push is going to be banned and believes from his sourcing that Commissioner Goodell is flexing his arms to try to get that banned. J-Boy says a home Jets playoff game would destroy MetLife. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. So hopefully this day, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Think about that for a second, right? So this rule passes immediately. Oh, it shall be done. Smited. Boom. It's all reshuffled. You win the division, you get a playoff game, but a home playoff game not guaranteed. Can you imagine that the Jets, let's say crazy shit happens, they win the division this year, and sorry, suckers, you won with a 9-8 record, but you don't get a home playoff game. Sorry, someone had 11 wins. Sorry, sucker, you're on the road. That would suck. Now, it would be sort of good because, to be honest, the last time the Jets had their success, they were road warriors, and they won on the road. So we'd sort of rally around that point. We haven't had a home playoff game in 23 years, man. 23 years. Unfriggin' believable. Hard to believe. Anywho, let's go through a couple more comments, and we'll sign off the show here. Shout out to Alan there, who's rooting on the Pacers. I'm sure the Knicks fans really appreciate that in the chat. Thanks, pal. Yeah, there's some really good games in the Week 1 slate. Jets Steelers, obviously, is juicy, but you got Bills, Ravens. You got a lot of fun games Week 1, for sure. A lot of fun games. All right, the 700 people in the room, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We're streaming live on my Facebook page, @BoyGreen25. That's my professional page on Facebook. Also, YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. And Twitter @BoyGreen25. Appreciate you. We're going to have some additional content coming on the show, so guys, make sure you stay tuned. We're also going to have another new show-ish being introduced to the digital world. I'll have more on that in due time. I'm very excited about that as well. So we'll have more info to come on other new shows I will be a part of moving forward. I'm still going to be doing all this as normal. Boy Green meets Woody, Boy Green Daily, all that jazz. But we have another fun project in the works. I'll keep you posted on that. But before we sign off, we need to go to the resident Bing Bong expert himself, Johnny Boy, here on the show.
What up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, excellent. Thank you very much. What's going on, pal?
Chilling, man. I got it on my thing. That's why it looks all weird over here while I'm driving.
No, that's all right.
I wanted to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up soon.
Sure.
The cap casualties that'll be out there, right? I think it was Scotty who said, are there any names out there that could potentially be signed? I don't think right now in free agency it's there, but there could be a name that might be able to go ahead and drop because they don't, a team doesn't have the money to pay them. Do you know any of those names that are out there that could potentially be a fit for the New York Jets? I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I kind of like where we're at right now, with the youth movement, and they're trying to, create the culture in regards to what Aaron Glenn wants to do. So, but I wanted to ask you that. It's June 1st, right? June 1st is when all that occurs.
That's correct. So the term is a post June 1 cut. So that'll be June 2nd for all the people. The teams will make those cuts on June 1st, and there'll be stuff available. Now, normally speaking, just to explain this to people who may not understand it, because I didn't even understand it until I heard the rule this offseason, to be honest with you, every NFL team is allowed 2 post June 1 designations, which means that you can pick 2 players on your team that you want out, and the Jets did. It's Aaron Rodgers and CJ Mosley, that they did not want to wait till June 2nd to do this. They wanted to do it right now, and they did. They dumped Aaron Rodgers, they dumped CJ Mosley, and they were allowed to spread that over 2 calendar years. You're only allowed 2. However, the loophole in the rule is if you actually wait till June 1st, you can use that rule on as many players as you want because you're carrying them through June 1st and then you're dumping them. So to your point, there is going to be talent available from a variety of these teams. Do I know exactly who all these are? I do not. But there are several predictive analysts out there that have a list of guys, and I'm putting that right now on the list for a future Boy Green Meets Woody show, and we'll dive into that in more detail. So I appreciate that, Johnny, and I'm putting that in our notes. So we'll do that ahead of that June 1, where we'll know some of those names coming up. Me and Woody will do some research for that and put it together. But 100%, you can sort of paint the lines and go, oh, I see. If it was going to happen for the Bengals, it's this guy, or the Washington team, it's this guy, or whatever. You could definitely, prognosticate that out for sure.
And the other name that I wanted to put out there, I know he's a little bit older, but he's been productive as crap for the last 4 years now.
All right.
Trey from the Bengals. Trey
Hendrickson. Sure, yeah, he led the Lincoln Sacks last year. Yeah, he's pretty good.
The Bengals pretty much are saying, nah, dude, you're gonna play no matter what. And he's like, no, I'm not. So he might be out there for the trade. What would it take for that to happen? And I'll leave off on that. I appreciate you, BG.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Thanks for the call, and I appreciate the top half of your face. I'm sure that's your wife's favorite, too. Bing, boom, bam. Now, to your comment on Trey Hendrickson, we did just there's a YouTube short out. If you guys didn't see the full Matt Lombardo interview, he revealed his top 3 teams that could make a play for Trey Hendrickson. He led the league in sacks last year, and the connection to the Jets is, well, the Jets picked Carl Lawson over Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals picked Trey Hendrickson over Carl Lawson. So we're all connected. Full circle. What would it cost? Well, Tom Pelissero revealed on the Rich Eisen show that a team offered a 2 and change, like a 2 and a 5 or something, for Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals before the draft. And the Bengals said, no, boop, decline trade. They wanted a first. They wanted a first-round pick for this man. I don't think a first-round pick's going to happen. Now we're post-draft. I definitely don't think a first-round pick's going to happen. So, to be honest, that package is 2, 3, maybe it's a Braylon Edwards 3-5 or something. Like, I don't think their value is going to get better outside of a devastating injury. If some contending team like loses their star pass rusher or something, or the other way around, that they think one more piece could push them over the top, maybe that's where you get a Trey Hendrickson deal. I don't think that's going to fit with the Jets. You mentioned the age factor. Obviously, that's another piece of the puzzle, Johnny. But just in general, the Jets are saying one of 2 things here. Either one, they're cutting all the old guys to be cheap because they don't think they're going to be very good this year. And then this is just a youth year, development year, and we'll see whatever happens with the results. That's one possibility from the Jets. The other possibility is they just got rid of all those guys because they believe they can win in their own youthful, different, high coaching way. We'll see what the truth is. I'd be stunned, quite frankly, because so Aaron Glenn says he wants to move in silence. Trading for the NFL sack leader last year ain't moving in silence. That's banging around a glass house. So that'd be a headline-making move. It'd also be a move that you would push over the top for. Trey Hendrickson, with his age, which let's pull this up here to get his exact age so I'm not speaking out of turn. He is 30 years on the dot. He'll be 31 in December. His window of being awesome is whatever this is worth. Pull it 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. Are the Jets winning the champion? I'm not saying whether they are or aren't. I'm asking you out in the universe. Are the Jets going to win the Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years? If yes, then maybe Trey Hendrickson is worth it. If you say no, then it may not be worth it after all, going full circle. So to me, that doesn't seem like an Aaron Glenn move. I get the need, obviously, of the team because you don't know how Jermaine Johnson's coming back from the blown Achilles, and you have Will McDonald's coming off the 10-second year. So I get it on paper, but it doesn't seem like an AG move. By the way, it looks like we got Philliam back here to chime in on this. Philliam.
Actually, there was something I meant to mention about the other thing.
So go ahead.
The other day, somebody asked you about, if you thought the chances were of the Jets making the playoffs, and you're like, 7 teams make the playoffs, right?
Sure.
Out of 16, it's almost half. You were kind of making it like, it's not that difficult to make the playoffs, right?
Sure.
All right, well, a home playoff game is a really valuable commodity, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I hold it in high regard.
Yeah. Okay. All you have to do is have one of the 4 best records, and you get it. You know what I mean? The number 1 seed gets the bye. The other 3, as long as you have one of the top 4 records, you win that home game. And most of the time, under this new rule, it would really be just the one team that kind of won the crappy division that really is the only one affected by it. There might be years that it happened to 2 of them. But you know what I'm trying to say is that, man, I keep coming back to if you win your division, regardless of what your record is, what your competition is, you're guaranteed a playoff berth. And that's a hell of a reward when you can be a lousy team, really, and still accomplish that. It's happened, So it was just something that when we were talking before, I wanted to throw that out there. Like, it's not like we're moved, like you mentioned the Jets, if they finally won their division this year, hey, just have one of the 4 best records and you get your home game. You got to earn this shit.
Yeah, that's true. So, right. It's really a reverse Uno card. I say how much I hold the home game in high regard. If I hold it in such high regard, then it shouldn't just be given out willy-nilly then.
Yeah, it should be earned. And that's it. Because of divisional play and all that, we built a structure where no matter what, if you win your division, you're in. That's your reward. I've been saying it over and over. That is your reward for winning your division, is you get into playoffs and other teams with better records don't. That's your reward. But those 4 home playoff games, those are huge. That's really valuable, and I think you got to earn that.
I respect it. Philliam, thanks for adding that extra piece of the call in. In other words, if we're doing math, which I was not told that'd be a part of this program, but to be a top 4 team on either side is being in the top 25%. 32 teams in the NFL, 16 on each side, 4 of 16 at top 25%. There you go, math teacher. Told you I'd work that in. So top 25%, being top 4 team in the National Football League. It's a little bit more difficult than being the top 17, obviously. But if I hold it in such high regard, as I do with the home playoff game, I think it's very important, then maybe, just maybe, that makes some sense. Hey, we'll see. The NFL sometimes moves at a glacial pace on some of these massive rule changes of these nature, whether it's going to be the tush push or whether it's going to be this. But we'll see. And Scotty saying math. Did you say math? Call pop. Which he would say 0.0%. Scotty, very witty. Very on brand. Appreciate it. Well, I got to head off to the radio station. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Make sure the 800 people, good Lord, on a Monday, May 19th, appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. Again, it's so easy to do. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you just see it on the screen. Just boop, like it. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, open up a new tab. Hop on over to YouTube. Again, we're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers. If you're watching on Twitter right now, you can just open up a new tab on your phone, or if you're on the computer, and you can jump on over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/boygreen25. If you enjoyed today's show, you enjoyed stopping by, make sure you subscribe, and then you'll never miss a show, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another Boy Green Daily here on the channel. Take care.